Hi folks! Thanks for joining us on this video. If you're new here, I'm Willie.
And I'm Sarah.
We're a musician and artist who escaped suburbia and now live in a nearly 200-year-old cottage on the Isle of Skye in the Scottish Highlands with our dogs, Jack Spaniels, and the newest member of our clan, puppy Nori.
This week we take some time out for a trip to the local pub and enjoy a delicious meal.
But will Nori behave like a true pub dog, or will he make a wee nuisance of himself?
Plus, I find plenty more jobs for Willie. Firstly, tackling the damp that comes with living in an old stone building.
And redoing some of the work I'd only just completed on Yolanda the Landrover when Sarah redesigned the brand new bumper with a stone wall.
Yep. And we reflect on the first 8 weeks with Nori as part of Team Skye Life. Join us as we continue.
Living the Skye Life. It's Valentine's Day and we are at the Old Inn for a special meal. It's special because it's for us as well, because, you know, it's Valentine's Day. But also special for Nori because it's his first time in a pub. So this should be interesting. Please do wish us luck.
Genuinely, I think this is the thing we've done with him that I'm the most nervous about, because we really want him to enjoy it and just have a nice time and just be calm. And yeah, that is definitely a word that is not associated with this puppy so far. So we've taken him out on a walk, we've given him his dinner, and we've done some playing after that. So we've tried to stimulate his body and his mind. So hopefully he's gonna just chill out and have a little snooze, but you never know, we might be getting these meals to go.
Yeah, a doggy bag, but not for them. They're bouncing around in the back of the car as well. We better get in there.
Jack loves the pub, so they're very keen.
Let's do it. Here goes.
Pick a spaniel.
Any spaniel. We've got two very excited boys.
How have I ended up with both?
I don't know. Here comes the dog mother. Shall we go in?
Yeah.
Do you want me to take one of them?
Yeah, please.
It's quite windy,
I think they saw the sea.
Oh yeah, Jack loves going in the sea. Anywhere, any chance, any time. Let's go in. So far we sat down and the lady was lovely and got a bowl of water for the dogs, and Nori knocked it over within about the first 30 seconds. But not only knocked it over but also into his own bed. Brought a little bed with us, so that is now wet and was used to mop it up. So we've got a little blanket which he's using instead now as a bed, and off to a good start.
I'm trying to put the blanket somewhere that's not wet, and that is proving difficult now. He has thoroughly soaked the floor, and he also managed to get off his lead somehow.
How did he do that?
I'm blaming Willie because he clipped it on.
Oh yeah. Sarah's been very kind and allowed me to drink tonight because she's going to drive, which is very kind. Although I did offer to drive, but she said no, so thank you, dear. And cheers, everyone. We both opted for the special Valentine's menu, which was very reasonably priced too. Sarah started with miso glazed king prawns, served with pickled radish, crispy rice, noodles and roasted sesame seeds, while I started with French onion soup garnished with cheese croutons. Sarah's main was Thai green cod curry, served with basmati rice and crispy onions, while I went for sirloin steak with potato press, roasted tomatoes, broccoli and peppercorn sauce on the side. For dessert, because we were both very full by this point, we shared a portion of lemon meringue pie, and everything we ordered was absolutely delicious. Well, we're back in the house and it was pouring with rain when we left, so we jumped in the car and made a haste back to the cottage, and here we are.
That was way more successful than we thought it was going to be.
It was really cool actually, apart from Nori knocking over his water bowl within the first 30 seconds of having it.
That was awful. My fault, really.
How?
Because I left it right next to him.
Well, you would think he would drink it though and not decide to decorate his bed with it.
Put his bottom in it.
Yes.
And then drank it.
And then drank it, yeah. And so did Jack, actually. Anyway, moving on. But the meal was absolutely delicious. Really enjoyed it. It was just absolutely stunning. Really, really nice food.
It's just a really nice vibe at this time of year, especially because it's a lot quieter than it is during the peak season. So you get a lot more of the locals coming in. And we purposely chose the start of the dinner session so that we knew it was going to be pretty quiet.
Yeah, and we asked to be tucked away in a corner as well.
Yeah.
Just because the wee one... I think the main thing I was worried about was often in that bar, dogs walk around and that's fine. That's the policy, that they're fine with that. That's all good, but when you've got a puppy there and he's very anxious, it's not so good because if they walk up to him, he can be really, really spooked and we didn't want that. So that's why we asked to be tucked away in that corner.
Yeah, there was a couple of instances of barking, but
yes.
it was short-lived.
There was just a bunch of local kids just messing around outside and Jack freaked out a little bit because of them and so did Nori, but, you know, it's to be expected in the pub.
Yeah. Stage 1 of being a pub dog, I think he's got it in him.
I think it's looking good.
Touch wood. For Nori the pub dog. And they've obviously had a big day because they are both now crashed out.
And I think we're about to do the same. Lovely Valentine's Day though, eh? Mm-hmm. Happy Valentine's.
Don't kiss me.
I'm not going to kiss you on camera. I'll wait till I'm off camera. Ooh. Sarah was out driving the other day and had a little ding in the car. She was fine, but the bumper took a bit of a bash, which is a shame because that's the bumper that I just put on, the new one, and painted again, and 3 coats of paint on top of a coat of primer. I don't actually have time to fix it properly right now because we're in a window of good weather, which is one day, and then tomorrow it goes back to storms. It's been absolutely mad here, so I'm going to do this quick repair for now just to tide me over so that the rust doesn't get into the bumper and ruin it further. It is already starting to rust, so I just need to put a couple of coats of paint on there just to sort it for the time being. Right, let's speak to Sarah and see what happened here.
I had a slight interaction with a wall in the village. I can't even blame snow or ice because it was all completely gone by that point.
Just a misjudgment, eh?
My spatial awareness is not great, and I was pulling over to let someone pass, which on these narrow roads is happening quite often, and apparently if you don't drive the Land Rover for 2 weeks, you forget how big it is.
Yeah, and you knocked a stone off the top of the wall, didn't you?
No, it was already loose. I just sort of moved it a bit. I spoke to the owner and she was absolutely cool with it. She said they're replacing that wall anyway this year, so she was really nice about it.
Lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. But obviously we would have paid for or helped to repair it if it had been damaged. But fortunately It was already pretty goosed anyway.
Should we show the people what you did? Just point out the issue.
It's just like a go faster strike, right?
And you can see here, it's only just started happening, but the rust is starting to set in just where your finger was there. So I need to get this fixed, or it's just going to get worse, and then we're going to end up with a structural issue rather than just an aesthetic problem. So let's get it fixed, temporarily anyway. And then later on, when we get some nice weather, I'll get some primer on there and I'll get 4 coats on. For now, just a couple of coats is fine of just Hammerite. You're meant to use primer when it's galvanised, but this part is no longer galvanised.
I'm helping.
Okay, I'm going to try and get 3 coats on in the next hour. I'm going to use a hairdryer as well, so really light coats are much better. Let's just hope that it fixes it until the springtime when I can do it properly. We don't want a rusty bumper, especially when I paid all that extra money for a galvanised one. Sarah, can you come and get the dogs? Or they're going to end up spray painted black. You wouldn't notice so much on Jack, like. Right, here it goes. That's enough for that coat.
While Willie's getting on with repairing that slight bit of damage I did to the Land Rover, I thought I'd get on with one of the essential maintenance jobs that we have for the cottage, which is checking the drain pipes. It's basically been raining non-stop for the past 7 days. There's a little bit of leakage, so I don't know if there's some blockages or if there's something broken, so I'm going to have a little check. Ably assisted by my 2 fairy assistants, obviously. Hey pups! Helping? Need a bigger set of ladders for the house. This area here is suspiciously still quite damp, even though all the other gravel is dry. And I think the reason being, that's not cool. Gonna have to repair that. This is my highest vantage point above the cottage without getting ladders. And I can already see the blockage down there above the downpipe. There's a blockage there. So there's at least 2 that I need to get my hands on.
So there you go, that is my temporary fix. It will need redoing, but at least it's not exposed to the salty sea air down here in the glen, and it won't be rusted anymore, hopefully, when I do come to fix it properly. Let's see what Sarah thinks. Okay, what do you reckon?
Damage? What damage? I can't even tell.
It's almost like it didn't happen.
And
Excellent.
that's what we all pretend.
Yes, except I'm going to have to fix it properly in the summer, and I think it should be used, it does it?
It's only fair, really, isn't it? But I am getting my hands dirty in the drain pipes, so
Alright, cool.
I might need your help with the ladders though. I have been found wanting, so he has to do it because I'm not tall enough. That's right. There. We have some very prolific trees that send down lots of pine needles.
Whoa! Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, you need the bucket, don't you?
Sarah did it earlier at the byre and decided it would be a good idea just to throw it all on the ground, and so then we had to clean it up afterwards.
Wow. That was a plug.
Wow, it's wire.
All the glamorous jobs at Skye Life Cottage.
I always get the best stuff to do.
I would have done it. It's just you wouldn't let me go up the ladder.
No. Do you blame me?
Helping?
Not again.
Jack. Getting flashbacks to doing the plasterboard.
Oh man. Any way that Jack can possibly help, he will.
Is that in the top of the drain pipe to try and stop things getting blocked?
Yeah, so that's in there to stop those pine needles from going down en masse. Otherwise we'd have the blockage at the bottom, which would make it even harder to do. Because you'd have to take the drain pipe out. So it has to go back in.
So it just plugs at the top. Okay, your next blockage is... Dun, da, da, da. I'm good at this, right? Just above the window.
Above the window?
There.
Yeah?
Yeah. What a lovely evening to be out and blocking gutters. I'm much more suited to the director's job than the manual labour.
And the wrecker's job. The one that crashes the car before it has to be.
This week we had some really, really heavy rain, and one of us is usually out in that heavy rain because of Mr. Nori, who's doing a whittle at my feet. Nice. And when I was out, I discovered that there was a huge cascade of water coming down from just where that light is and all the way down there onto that rock. That's not cool, so I'm assuming there's either a blockage or some damage there. Filming the grass. Nori! Nori!
Nori!
No!
You have to wash his head now. This stinks.
Nori, do not put your head in the bucket of stinky stuff. No, Jack, don't do it either! Oi, leave! Leave! Come on. That would explain the waterfall that we had.
This is what Sarah was throwing on the drive. Now everyone thinks that Sarah's the sensible one, which is true most of the time. She was just getting handfuls of this and just throwing it all over our chips. Silly sausage springs to mind.
I think that's us done. Apart from we need to fix the drain pipe on the byre, but that's probably a job for another day.
Yeah, that's pretty solid.
You fixed it?
Yeah. Yep.
Hey.
Just to come away, it must have been the winds. It just took a lot of force to push it down. So yeah, that's fixed as well.
Hey.
Can I go and do the boat stuff I was wanting to do now?
Okay.
Can I have a can of Iron Brew, please?
Yes, you can. And hopefully this will dry out now. We won't get any dampness coming into our byre studios. Since we cleared the drain pipes a few days ago, I've been trying to work out why we still get this big pool of water down the front of the byre whenever there's really heavy rain. We've diverted that stream that usually flows down the path and sometimes floods the garden out, so it's not really coming down into our property anymore, but we are still getting that pool of water. There is really good drainage in our garden, so the pool does drain away really quickly once the rain has stopped, But I feel like any standing water around the bottom of the walls of your building is just a recipe for disaster when it comes to damp and mould, so I'm really keen to avoid that. And the last time it was raining really heavily, I figured out that water cascades off the front of that drain pipe because it's not going down the downpipe. That doesn't have a snazzy little plug made of chicken wire to stop the pine needles going in. I've worked out that at least the bottom third of that pipe is full of pine needles. What I'm going to try and do is take it off, remove them, and hopefully form some kind of plug I can put in the top. I'm the first to admit I'm not the best at the kind of householdy DIY jobs, but Willie's out with Richard and I figured, how hard can it be? At least if I get it wrong, he's coming back with Richard, right? So they'll be able to fix it. Let's see how I get on. Not a job I can do by myself. I thought it was going to be pretty simple, just unclip it at the top, and there was a bracket holding it at the wall, but I thought I'd just be able to lift it out of the drain, but the roof gets in the way. I tried to unscrew that bracket, but the screws are so rusted in that I think it's going to need cutting out, which I think we all agree that is a job for Willie to do. So I've clipped it back in and I'll wait for the boys to get back.
I already had my hands full that day for reasons that will become clear very soon, so tune in next week to see Sarah and I tackle the job of fixing the guttering properly. It's a Friday afternoon, and Fridays is the day that we wrap up our videos. So what happens now is Sarah goes through it, ties it all together, then I go in and do the final edit before we upload it this evening, and then it goes onto YouTube. So this is the first time that I've been for a walk with both the dogs, which is really lovely. They're not bickering, they're behaving well, they're just scurrying around and acting like normal dogs, because in the house it can be quite fraught sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, especially if Nori is very excited and Jack's tired. But right now they're both just chilling out, they're just cutting about, walking nicely, and it's just lovely. It's the first time I've sort of felt like I've got two dogs instead of one really well behaved dog and one absolutely crazy puppy. It's just really nice. Very peaceful, just playing, really gentle times. It's the first real glimpse for me of how it will be in the future, and it's lovely. Hooray! What you got, Nori? I think that's probably a little bit too big for you, mate. Yeah. I think even Jack might struggle with that one. You don't need a whole branch, surely. Eh? Come on then, let's go. Oh. Come on then, let's go. Just leave it. Leave it. Come on, we'll find you a smaller stick. No, that's not going to work, is it, with a spaniel? Determination. Oh, he's off. This is what spaniels do. They'll run away for a bit, but then they'll look back and see if you're moving. If you're not, they come back. Hey boys, hey, good boys. I think Nori's got about 10 times the energy of Jack, and Jack has got 10 times the energy of me. That's about right. Come on then, Nori, let's go. Nori.
You might remember us saying at our end of year roundup of living in this cottage that we do suffer a little bit from damp occasionally. I've made it my mission this year to try and fix that. I have bought us one of these. It's a thermometer and hygrometer. Basically it measures temperature at the top and humidity at the bottom. Good rule of thumb apparently is to try and keep your house at a level of 15 degrees all year round. So it's 17 degrees at the moment, and then humidity wise it tells you a percentage. Apparently a good percentage to aim for is between sort of 30 to 50, and we are currently at 70%. And I thought today I would test out a tip that I learned from Instagram, which is checking the ventilation fans in the bathroom and the kitchen. First up is the ventilation fan over the hob. Admittedly, yes, I know it needs a good clean. I'm going to do that afterwards. But the first thing I want to do is check it's working. And it's basically you put a sheet of paper against the fan when it's on and check the suction's working. Let's give it a go. That seems to be working, quite happy with that. So I think we just need to make sure that we put that on a lot more often. Like whenever we're cooking anything, we're going to put that on, and also make sure there's a window open so there's lots of fresh air coming through the kitchen. And hopefully that should give us a bit better ventilation in here. Okay, next stage is the bathroom fan. It does look pretty dusty, and that video I saw on Instagram said you should hoover it first. So I'm gonna get the hoover, give it a clean, and then test it's working, because our bathroom takes ages to dry out after we've had showers. Well, I think I can say fairly conclusively that that fan is not sucking out a lot of air. In fact, I could feel a slight breeze on my fingers, so I don't know if there's air coming in and not going out. It's making a noise, but I'm just not sure what the issue is. That might be the reason that our bathroom is getting quite a bit of condensation and a little bit of mould on the walls. We'll add that to the list of jobs that need doing on Skye Life Cottage. I also just went outside while Willie was having a shower, and just with the fan on, there was absolutely no steam coming out of that vent on the roof, and when we opened the window, there was steam coming out of there. So all makes me feel like the ventilation is not doing what it should. I foresee another job for Willie here. Hi folks, we thought we would jump on and give you a little pup date, or quite a large pup date, as you can probably see. Nori is 16 weeks old today, which means that we've had him for half his life.
I know, and he's double the size since we got him. Literally, we weighed him.
He is growing at a crazy rate.
He is, and yesterday he ate half of his big brother's breakfast.
I was dealing with some chicken.
The C word, as we call it in this house.
So Jack ignored his food bowl and we lost sight of Nori for a few seconds and he wolfed it.
He was so fat, he just ate, because he'd just eaten his breakfast as well, so he ate his whole breakfast and half of Jack's breakfast as well.
And he's coming on leaps and bounds, isn't he?
Literally.
Literally and figuratively. He can hop up on the sofa, no problem. As of this week, he managed to get on the bed for the first time. So pretty much nowhere is safe.
The whole bitey phase took a lot longer than we thought it was going to stop.
He is currently teething, so this is why we have the toy, and he's doing a lot of gnawing on that, because he's lost about 5 teeth now.
And gained some.
Yep, the big teeth are coming through, so hopefully that really is the beginning of the end for the whole puppy bitey phase.
And then he tries to bite you. Perfect
timing, thank you.
The other first this week was his first swim across the river. We're each at each side of the river and a narrow part, so we could wade in if we had to. But we didn't have to, he just swam across. And Sarah captured it that way.
It was so cute. He just jumped right in, right underneath the surface, and we were like, is he coming up again?
He was only under for a split second, I could see him.
And he had Jack to follow. I don't think he would have done it if Jack hadn't have shown him where to go.
No, yeah, Jack went first and showed him. He just went, oh, I can do that. But it was cute because his paws are so big, and all Spaniels have got webbed paws, but for some reason Nori was putting his paws in, bloop, bloop, like that, and there was jets of water were coming up as well. It was brilliant to see.
It wasn't the most streamlined of swimming, but
no.
He'll get there. And look at these two. They're so much more chilled out on the sofa together than, remember we did that recap at 2 weeks, and Jack was stuck sitting over there like he was...
Like this.
Yeah.
Looking at giving it Salvador Dali eyes.
Ultimate side eye towards Nori, and there's still a little bit of tension sometimes when he's in a snappy mood and he's a bit too rambunctious. Yeah, in the morning when he's a bit crazy. But for the most part, they've completely settled down and it's such a relief.
And he's too big for his crate now. His head almost touches the top.
Yeah, we got him a pen instead. We've got that in the buyer at the moment so we can get on with work, and mostly he respects it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. He's stop what we're doing and play with him.
Yeah, and he got a big boy bed.
He got a big boy bed, and last night we found that they'd actually switched, and Jack was in his bed and vice versa.
We started off separating them, putting the crate in between them so that they couldn't get to each other, and then little by little we started putting Nori's bed in the kitchen with Jack. And the first few nights he was literally running for the door with us, trying to get out.
Yeah. But they do know their place now. They know that the kitchen is their place, and that's completely cool.
Yeah.
They don't bark or whine at night. It's beautiful. They only sleep for 7 hours though, so you've got 7 hours a night. And if you don't get up in that time, you probably are going to encounter some whittle on the floor or some barking as well.
Yeah.
So weekends, what we've started doing is taking turns. So one of us will get the Saturday and one of us will get the Sunday. So we are getting one lie in a week.
In the mornings, one of us will deal with Nori, and Jack gets to come and lie on the bed. It means he gets his individual cuddle time in the morning, and Nori gets his individual time in the morning, and then they come together and all hell breaks loose.
They now fall asleep with their noses about 8 inches apart.
We're not entirely sure what's going to happen when Nori gets even bigger, because this sofa is already a bit of a squeeze.
Well, we've been looking for a new sofa, but it's not very easy to find things like that in Skye.
So we might have a very cosy time ahead of us.
It's lovely to see you as well when they don't know you're watching them. There's been a couple of times where I've just looked out the window and they don't know that I'm looking out the window. So they're just really well behaved. They're just cutting about, playing with each other, having a bit of a sniff. And then as soon as they see you out the window, it's like, "Arr!" and you know.
Training's going pretty well. He is obviously very clever. Like Jack, he chooses when he uses it sometimes. He can do sit, wait, he's got really good recall now. He can spin. The two of them spinning together is the cutest thing I think I've ever seen. He's learning, but he's watching when Jack does it. And going out on walks with him has just been amazing. We haven't taken him many places that we don't know.
Well, we haven't been able to because the weather has been very interesting.
Yeah.
It's been Hebridean.
As you probably will hear in this video, it's howling a gale out there right now.
Listen to that. It's like that was on cue, but it's not. It just does that all the time.
The wild winter weather. I was worried about letting him off lead for the first time, like really quite anxious about it.
And I wasn't.
You said it would be fine.
Yeah. If he goes too far in his mind, if he thinks he's not going to be able to see us when he turns back round, he stops and comes back. They're really loyal dogs.
Yeah.
And really easy to train actually.
So he just stays on the path with us and potters around and sniffs and chases Jack, and it's just really lovely.
It's all working out.
Yeah. Now that he's 16 weeks, he can go on 20-minute walks at a time. And we've had to change how we're doing it slightly because dog in a bag no longer fits in the bag.
There was protestation as well.
Yeah.
Big time. He was fine when we first started doing the dog in the bag thing, and he just was cute and sat there. But the last time we took him out, he bit my hand when I was trying to put him in the bag, and when he realised that I was just taking it and just carrying on, you know, putting him in the bag safely, he bit under Sarah's eye. Yeah.
He really did not want to go in the bag, and it is too small for him now,
So we kiboshed the bag, and now it's just a case of walking him shorter, and we just time it well so one of us can come back to the house with him when he's had his 20 minutes and the other takes Jack on his extended walk.
We really want to take him to some new places around the island, so we're looking for some short walks we can do with the two of them, and we're going to get him out and socialised. And it's so funny to see how he's changed from that first couple of weeks. Like, he's got so many more black spots.
Yeah.
His little white stripe has disappeared.
Yeah.
And he's just actually grown into like a miniature dog now instead of a little fluff ball.
The ears as well, at the top of his ears he's got these little bits that prick up, but they go down eventually. As the dog ages, their ears sag down with the weight of themselves, and you don't have that little puppy little shape like that at the top. I love that.
I think that's about it. Yeah, we're doing well. We're getting slightly more sleep than we were before.
Yeah.
We're slightly less knackered.
We're more in control of the situation, I hope. So that's the 8-week pup date.
Folks, thank you so much for watching our video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please do leave us a like, a comment, or subscribe to our channel if you don't already. It's free to do, and it really helps us out.
If you did enjoy the video and you'd like to support us further, you can do so over on Ko-fi. You can buy us a coffee, or you can buy the wee boys a treat, or just in general help with the running costs of the channel.
Or if you want to help us out more long term, you can join our amazing community over on Patreon, where you get bonus content for helping us out each month.
Thank you so much to our patrons and to our Ko-fi supporters for helping the channel out.
All the links to our pages are in the video description below.
Thanks for watching our video, and we will see you next week. Oh, puppy, it's a puppy! Oh, with sharp teeth. We're leaving our suburban life, moving over the sea to Skye. Are we chasing a dream? I guess in time we will see, when we're living the Skye life. Living the Skye life.
I thought I would do one of the essential jobs, which is get attacked by Nori.
The other thing he did this week was first.
I didn't know he did that for the first time.
I thought he did it for the first time 2 weeks ago.
Not a water feature that you want to have in your garden. Oop, hello.
But now that his snout is growing out, he's got these. It's not, yeah.
Very difficult on Skye because our temperatures. Thanks, Nori. This can only go well.
There we go. Click here to subscribe to live in the Skye life.
Click here to go back to the start of our adventures with our very first episode.